I just found out there are people from all over the country that have come to be here today. So I'm kind of wanting to know, if you are outside Washington State, where are you from? Where are you from? Tell me where you're from. Sir, where are you from?
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. Thank you very much for being here this afternoon. Portland, Oregon. Else, where are you from?
Durham, North Carolina.
Durham, North Carolina, and that is Dr. Desjardins. She's going to speak to us today, so you're going to hear from her. But you don't have much of an accent. How long have you been there?
13 years.
Oh, okay. Well, so it's not long enough. It's not long enough to have an accent. I'll tell you a quick. No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you a quick story. So I was in North Carolina because I had an event to go to, and I went up to the Wendy's, and she went, "Hi, sugar. What can I get you?" And I started laughing, and she said, "What's so funny?" I said, "You have an accent." She said, "Honey, you in North Carolina, you got the accent." Anyway, that's what happened. So North Carolina. Where else? Who else is from outside Washington State? Yes, ma'am. Where are you from? Phoenix, Arizona is here on our beautiful summer day. Don't you love the sunshine and the heat in Washington? Isn't it tremendous? Almost felt like you didn't leave home, did it? And today's the first day of summer in Washington. That's how that goes. Who else? Who else is from outside? Yes, ma'am. Greenville, South Carolina, and that's Stephanie. Yes, and she's one of our presenters today. Thank you, Stephanie, for being here with your husband. Greenville, North Carolina. So we got the Carolinas are like right here. Some cornbread and greens, I think, are going to be here for lunch. I don't know. Anybody else from outside the U.S.? Tell us where you're from. Where are you from? Anyone else? Nobody else? Everybody else is from?
St. Louis.
St. Louis, Missouri is here today. All the way from St. Louis. Thank you. Well, we are delighted and so excited to have you all here. And let me introduce to you our first presenter, Miss Amy Murray, who is the treasurer of EndBrainCancer.org, and she's also the finance director for the Seattle Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Amy Murray.
Can you hear me?
No.
No? Now?
Lean in and talk loud.
How about that?
That's good.
Oh, good. It is truly, truly a privilege to welcome all of you here this afternoon. I first got to know the End Brain Cancer Initiative and their wonderful work when my dear friend Scott Patrick was stricken with glioblastoma about 10 years ago. I watched as they connected Scott to the top specialists and the best and most advanced treatments available, which included having his tumor tissue tested and personalized cutting-edge treatments. I have seen what was then the Chris Elliott Fund grow from a local organization to one that is a potential game changer in the way cancer is treated in this country under the leadership of one of the most dynamic and visionary women I've ever had the privilege to know in my nonprofit career. This woman truly believes in reforming the standard of care for brain tumor and other cancer patients through implementing bold and innovative therapies early on in the treatment process. Additionally, the Direct Connect model developed by her organization personally connects patients to top brain tumor specialists and top cancer centers, boosting clinical trial enrollment, which also reduces the time and expense required to make the most promising therapies available to every patient. 2 years ago, I had the honor and the privilege of joining this organization as a board member and its treasurer. Ladies and gentlemen, Dell-Ann Elliott, Midland.
That's for me. Thank you, Amy.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
First and foremost, this is a celebration of our brain tumor patients and their families and all of you who are on this journey together. I want to tell you that this day is for you, and it is an honor and a privilege to work with so many of you in this room and so many patients across the United States with their families and their caregivers and their doctors. So this toast is for you. Can all of you raise your glass, please? And just simply say we are here for you, brain tumor patients and families, and we're here to help. Thank you so, so much for being here today. Oh, I hear lots of clinking, clinking, clinking going on. That's a good sign. Can everyone hear me just fine? Are we good? Okay. So welcome everyone to the 5th annual Brains Matter Awareness, Auction, and Celebration Luncheon. Thank you to each of you for taking time out of your day to come here and celebrate with us, as well as to hear the message that we are delivering today. We serve all of these patients and families daily through our mission. Our mission is to enhance the lives of these patients and empower them, and to help them get into advanced treatments, innovative treatments, and critical care. And that wasn't exactly right, but you know what I mean. So this kind of an event does not happen by itself. It takes obviously lots of work. It actually takes lots of money. And I want to thank our sponsors right now. Our National Hope Award sponsor is Novacure. Our keynote sponsor is Seattle Cancer Care Alliance Proton Therapy Center. Thank you so very, very much. Additional event sponsors are Celldex and Genentech. Thank you, Genentech. We also have corporate tables that are sponsored as well, and I'd really like to say thank you so much to all of those right now. Nativas, thank you for your support. Thank you. JMS Construction, thank you very much. Superior Steel, thank you so much for your support. The Megan L. Patton Fund, thank you, Megan. I'd also like to thank our media sponsors. Bonneville, Seattle Media, thank you so much. MyNorthwest.com, Cairo Radio, 710 AM ESPN, and 770 KTTH. You are awesome, and you help us every day get the word out on your radio stations, and thank you so much for your support. Thank you. We thanked Marianne already for playing the piano, but I do want to say thank you so much. That's the first time we've had that here at our luncheon, and I really liked it. Thank you for taking the time to do that today. I also would like to thank our Miss USA contestants for volunteering their time and helping us set up, as well as greet you when you came in through the ballroom doors. Thank you. And Carl Murray, thank you so very, very much for being our photographer today and donating your services. Thank you so very much with Seattle Photography. Thank you. And a special shout out to our table captains today. You have special duties, and I really appreciate you taking the time to do those and to support us also. Thank you. So there are corporate sponsors, and then there are corporate sponsors. And today, I actually want to acknowledge 2 of our corporate sponsors. They are our icing on our cake, so to speak. And this is kind of funny, but I'm going to take the time to do it. Carl, can I have you please come on up? Carl Gardner. So I want to say thank you so very, very much. So our media sponsors help us every single day, help to educate patients and their families here in the Pacific Northwest, and you are one of our icings on the cake today.
Very nice.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much. Thank you. Congratulations.
And I also have another icing on the cake award. It goes to Novacure. So Novacure has been a very, very long time supporter of our work, and it's because I've been a long time supporter of their work. So long time ago, I was introduced to Novacure and what is now referred to as the Optune device. And I wasn't skeptical like a lot of people were. And as a matter of fact, I started learning more and more and more about this particular medical device to treat brain cancer. And it's the very first medical device that we have so far that is FDA approved to treat brain cancer. And I also helped bring that trial here to Seattle. But Novacure has been a nice supporter of ours, and we have 3 representatives today from Novacure. Could I have each of you come on up to the stage, please, and receive your Icing on the Cake award? If I can get the lid off. I'm going to leave the lid on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. Thanks, Tiffany. Okay, ladies, we need a photograph. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. It is our sponsors. Thank you. It is our sponsors and those people who underwrite our grants and our educational initiatives that helps us help all of the patients across the U.S. and their families. So thank you. So I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. Many of you know that my late husband, Christopher Stewart Elliott, fought this disease with everything that he had and we had. It was the fight of our lives. And there are many of you in this room going through that fight today. While we were fighting, we noticed that perhaps this disease could be fought better if we were able to get patients into bold and innovative treatments very, very quickly after diagnosis. You see, we believe that patients diagnosed with a primary brain tumor, that they are provided immediate access to top brain tumor neurosurgeons across the nation. We also believe that they should be provided and sent to a top neuro-oncologist who specializes in brain cancer as well. We're interested in effecting change on a large level. We do this every day through increasing survivorship through our Direct Connect program, fueling research and advancing cures by connecting for a cure network, and we want to spur the adoption of new treatments into standards of care for this patient base. Last Thursday, May 18th, was this 501c3 company's 14th anniversary. 14 years ago, Chris and I learned that he was no longer a candidate for more surgery or even more treatment. I will never forget that moment, ever. It is truly etched in my brain, and it is what powers me up every single day, and my organization every single day for all of the patients in this room. We learned that he was soon coming to the end of his journey, and when he asked me to do something about this disease, I said yes, no hesitation. I didn't really know what that was going to be, what that was going to look like, but it came very, very clear to me when I reflected back on our journey that if we could improve these patients' journey through their brain tumor diagnosis, their treatment, and their survivorship, that is exactly what I wanted to do. So we created the Chris Elliott Fund actually on the spot. And today, this is what we do. We provide patients and caregivers with immediate access to advanced treatment options, specialists, and comprehensive support programs. We provide the research and the medical community with qualified patients for treatment or in clinical trials. We pre-qualify patients for these clinical trials. We advocate on issues of national public health policy impacting the lives and welfare of brain tumor patients and brain cancer patients. We educate the general public on matters related to brain tumors and brain cancer prior to a diagnosis. So some of you have heard that the Chris Elliott Fund is being referred to now as the End Brain Cancer Initiative. And that's true. We are evolving into the End Brain Cancer Initiative. And what does that mean? What does that really mean? We're still the same organization. We're still the same folks. We just are growing. And what it means is we are making a proactive choice to connect and create partnerships so that we can help these patients quicker and we can help these patients get into bold and innovative treatments. It's kind of that simple. The End Brain Cancer Initiative is an effort to work with industry and corporate partners in order to bring, again, bold treatments to the forefront, and so that these patients have access to those treatments quickly. Sorry, I lost my place, but you know. There's a head slide, and that's kind of the big picture of what we're actually trying to do. Our small, mighty organization is trying to do what is portrayed on the head slide behind me. It's not an easy task, but we know with collaboration and with partnerships, we're going to be able to do this faster and quicker. And we hope to change the standard of care for brain tumor patients and brain cancer patients across the nation. So with that being said, this luncheon is not only about celebrating brain cancer patients and their families. It's about having a lot of fun. It's about raising some money to help us do the work that we do. And I think it's time for us to have a little fun, everybody. Woo-hoo.
Sorry, excuse me.
I would like to bring up on stage Pat, our auctioneer, with Avid Auctions, please. Pat, take it away.
Thank you very much, Dylan. How is everybody? So good to see you all. Very excited to have here. So imagine raising money to help change people's lives and you get to take something cool home with you. How great would that be, right? How great would that be? Because we have a couple of items that we have on for auction. And some of my students that are, give our volunteer staff a round of applause. They came all the way in, they're volunteering to do this. So I got Sylvia, Ariel, Tani, and Meliani. If you would come up, I said you guys could work the floor with me. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to take one spot there, one spot there, one spot there, one spot here. Hurry, ladies. It's like a pageant. Pretend it's a runway. Move. Here we go. All right. So here's what I want you to do. Watch me closely. I want you to, as we're going through the auction process, I want you to look at tables and go. Smile at them, okay? Smile at all the tables. And then when we start asking for money, I want you to go. Okay? Cleach, this point. So, and then you're going to call bids for us. Ready? And my catalog reader, I am so privileged. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Desjardins is going to read the catalog for us today. And she's our presenter a little later on today. Our catalog reader comes from the Carolinas. Can you believe that? We brought her in all the way from the Carolinas. So we have a few items. So how have you enjoyed it? How long have you been in Washington now?
24 hours.
Okay, so not very long.
I'm a huge expert. I've already been to a Seahawks game. I've been sailing, anything. So, playing golf.
Have you ever been to a Seahawks game?
No.
Never. Okay.
But I have.
Okay. All right, cool. So, would you like to tell us about our first item?
Our first item, absolutely. So just a secret, Pat. So in fact, the first item, that's where Matthew is planning to bring Stephanie there for their honeymoon. So that's really exciting. So it is a 3 days at Sun Mountain Lodge in the Metro. So I'm sorry.
No, that's totally okay.
I don't speak English. I just fake it. So if you don't understand me, you let me know. Okay, sorry. And I don't do the TH. Okay. So Meadow Valley in Eastern Washington. Okay. So yeah, great place for honeymoons or a second honeymoon. Hey, Garrett. So just Dylan is working hard. So whether you're looking for refined elegance or a rugged wilderness experience, a place to come together with the family or a romantic getaway, it's a thrill of a lifetime recreation or, a quiet reflection. Sun Mountain Lodge is poised to exceed your expectation. Nestled in the foothills of the North Cascade Mountain Range, the Meadow Valley, and I didn't say that TH properly, is the Northwest's most popular destination recreation area. With each changing season, there are new sights to see, fun things to do, and an ever-changing landscape. Hiking, skiing, cycling, snowshoeing, snowmobiling, that I know, I'm French-Canadian, fishing, horseback riding, rock climbing, swimming, and boating. Or what about the spa? Winner, Matthew. So the farm-to-table cuisine, a cowboy dinner, a sleigh ride dinner, or diamonds and pearl wine dinner. Spend 3 nights at the lodge during the week and make the Meadow Valley and the Sun Mountain Lodge your oyster. Available now until June 23rd, 2016, or use a $500 credit toward any room, anytime at the lodge. Your pick.
Thank you. Available till the end of June 17.
It says 2016 here. Was it 2017?
Is it 17?
It's actually 2016 or a credit.
Or you get a credit for another visit. Thank you very much. How romantic would this be? Started off at $100. How about I get a $100? How about I get $100? $100. How about I get a $100? How about I get a $100? $100. How about I get a $100? Thank you. How about I get a $1.5? $100. How about I get a $150? Take your romantic partner away to the spa for $150. $150. Thank you. How about I get $200? $200. How about I get $250? $200. How about I get $2.5? $250. $300. $300. $350. Ever been? Have you been to the lodge? $350. She's going. $400. $350. $350. How about I get a $400? Very nicely done, Ariel. You're a star. $400. $400, but I get a $450. Tiffany, $450. $425. I'll drop it. You just saved $25. That's a bottle of champagne in the spa for you right there. $425. $400. $400, but I get a $400, but I get a $4 1/4. $400, but I get a $425. $400, but I get a $425. $555. $425, and we are sold at $400. Thank you very much.
Hello? Hello? Okay, good. Can you guys hear me all right? Okay, good. Hi, my name is Caitlin Pfeiffer, and I was a caregiver to my mother who had GBM for 3 long months and passed away just 7 months ago. It was tragic to see somebody so beautiful and full of life deteriorate at such a fast pace. But my mother handled the tumor with so much faith, grace, and strength. My mom didn't want to subject me to some of her worst moments. However, I rarely refused to leave her side. If she were to die, I knew a large piece of me would as well. She wasn't just her high school head cheerleader, but she was my head cheerleader and my best friend. Following diagnosis, we had a role reversal, and I became the caregiver and quickly realized I had to become her advocate, as she had been mine my whole life, especially since she was declining so quickly. I would do anything I could to help her find a cure, and anything I could to ease her pain. However, I felt like we were heading into battle with no weapons. The more I learned about GBM, the more discouraged I became. I felt lost with nowhere to go, and whenever I sought direction or hope from the hospital staff or physicians, I sunk further into despair. Luckily, while I was researching at night, I came across the Chris Elliott Foundation's page, and I read the story of Chris Elliott's battle with GBM. And I decided to fill out an online form just in case they might be able to help me navigate these seemingly impossible waters. Thankfully, the organization responded back quickly and asked my mom's tumor information and genetics. I knew that Chris's wife, Delian, had personally walked this miserable path before, and that she had kept up with all the current research, and she could truly empathize with us, unlike many doctors we worked with who hadn't been personally affected by this disease. Delian and the people at the End Brains Cancer Initiative, the Chris Elliott Fund, taught me the right questions to ask the physicians and encouraged me as my role as a patient advocate. This is what your previous gifts and donations to the End Brain Cancer Initiative did for me as a caregiver. Your gift partnered alongside my family and I as an ally and champion amidst the seemingly insurmountable waters of GBM. Your gift gave me consolidation in the hardest hours of my life. I live with no regrets in how I tried to handle my mom's fight against cancer. Your gift gave me an expert who could respond quickly to offer advice, who knows this cancer inside and out and related to how lost I felt. Your gift put us in touch with the right people, namely top brain tumor specialists. Your gift didn't make me feel like my mom was another GBM victim destined to die, but rather gave her a fighting chance for life. When you're in a place of such confusion and hopelessness, all these things are truly priceless. So thank you. I hope you never have to walk the road my mom and I walked together. I heard this quote recently by Tia Walker that says, "To care for those who once cared for us is one of the highest honors." And without doubt, I agree with that. It was such an honor to care for my mother. Having to say goodbye too early in life was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I hope that your life, or one of your family members' lives, is not cut short by this terrible cancer. But if you must walk this path, I hope that you have the people at the Chris Elliott Fund there to support you and your family during your darkest hours. And I more importantly hope by that time we have found a cure for brain tumors. Your generosity makes that possible, and your gift can improve brain tumor patients' lives, defeat cancer, so we no longer have to part early with our loved ones, and hopefully one day make cancer obsolete for the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. I know that wasn't easy, but it's really important. Thank you so very, very much. So you met Dr. D earlier. You met her funny side. She's going to bring it down a little bit. We're going to get a little bit serious, and we're going to really emotionally touch each other in a way, that sounds weird. We're going to, that sounds weird. That's not what I meant. We're going to emotionally experience, to be honest, something together in this room. And later on, when what we're talking about today, this cure, later on, when it becomes standard of care, I want all of you to remember exactly where you were when you first heard about it through 60 Minutes, or you first heard about it spoken by Dr. D right here in this room. Dr. Desjardins completed her residency in adult neurology at the University Sherbrooke, Quebec. She finished a 2-year fellowship in neuro-oncology at the Preston Robert Tisch Brain Tumor Center at Duke. Upon completion of her fellowship in July of 2005, she joined the center as faculty. She is presently the director of clinical research for the center, certified in the subspecialty of neuro-oncology by the United Council for Neurologic Subspecialties. Dr. D's primary focus is patient care and research. Her clinical research focuses on providing innovative and aggressive therapies to adults with with primary brain tumors. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to introduce you to Dr. Desjardins at this moment. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you, everyone, and sorry, please, I'm really apologize for what I did previously. So, my previous behavior. So, but I'm really proud, and thank you very much for all the money you raised. So, I would like to thank you, Dylan, and for reaching out and inviting me to come and talk about what we're doing and how important it is. And thank you for all of you for supporting our patients. I think that, you know what, one thing I tell my patients every day when they come and they're scared because they have just heard the diagnosis of glioblastoma or another brain tumor, a primary brain tumor, and everybody is scared because no one plans on being there. And then I just always remind them, so when Dylan asked me to talk about this, I said, that's my everyday life, that's what I do. And I just tell them, go back in the 80s, think about it. and think about how we were all scared of AIDS, and how when patients were HIV positive, we knew they will die. Remember where you were. I still remember. Where I was when Magic Johnson went out and did the press conference to tell us that he was HIV positive, and how scared everybody was. Now, with this awful disease that is AIDS, they were able to have treatment where patients now we can live being HIV positive, have a normal life, and just have what we call maintenance treatment. Just have their treatment, the disease, the HIV positive, under control. And that's our goal every day with our brain tumor patient. And we're getting there. We can have now patients living, being survivors, long-term survivors of brain tumor. And that's what we do every day. So, and we need to start thinking about that. So that's what I tell the patients. Put that back in perspective. AIDS in the 80s, 30 years later, we are at the same place now with GBM. So all of us have different reasons why we're here today. And a lot of you are here because you didn't decide to be involved with cancer. Cancer found you personally, or someone that you love very much, and that's how you got involved. For me, my career with cancer started when I was 5 years old. My dad is a businessman, worked tons of hours. You know it. Like, you have your own company, you have to make it work. And his only way to find time with his daughters was to do volunteer work. And to bring us with him when he was doing volunteer work. And one of his favorite organization, because there is a lot of cancer in his family, and he became an orphan very early due to cancer. And his favorite organization was the Canadian Cancer Society. And so since I'm 5 years old, I will go and clean daffodils before the sale. Remove the little brown leaves, there's someone cleaning it. And so when you buy those daffodils, or when you just remember that maybe it's just started someone's career. And that's what it did for me. Around 10 years old, when people were asking me, I remember I was 10 when someone asked me, what do you want to do later? And everybody, of course, thinks, in that time, I want to be like one of the new kids on the block, or I want to be like Britney Spears. That's what people will answer. And I would answer, I want to be an oncologist. And it was so weird. So this career, really weird. So this career picked me. But today when I'm here and I look at the patients and I look what I'm doing I always feel there was something bigger why I was picked for this career. So I did it by choice, and every day I have the chance to do my dream job and work with the patients. So we're all here because of brain tumor. And brain tumor is bad and goes in the brain of people and take who you are. And we are getting affected and lose our loved one way before we truly lose them because of the injury that the tumor leaves in the brain, and the changes in personality, the changes in function. And how I always tell my patient, I always tell them, we have to get used to your new brain, and we have to learn to live with. And that's how, whether we're here today, is really how do we help patients deal with this tumor? How do we help them also getting used and live with this new brain? So, as you know, there has been a lot of publicity and a lot about one of our treatment. There is a lot of research going on, a lot of efforts. And today I will talk about, really briefly, about one of our treatment that has been on the news a lot. And all that work came from one person, a virologist, who, for whatever reason that he still cannot explain, 25 years ago, figured out that the virus for polio, so that's Dr. Gromeyer, that the virus of polio is like a key that will attach, that will open the lock of all solid tumor. Discovered that pure luck 25 years ago. Probably the same thing as the pure luck that a 5-year-old was cleaning daffodils when she was 5 years old, okay? And we came in together and are now having this therapy. So what Dr. Gromeyer figured out is, he said, okay, polio attached to cancer cells. The problem with polio, it's bad. It's bad. And so he figured out a way to remove the part of the polio that will attach to the neurons and give what we know as polio. Figured out that the part of the virus that causes the disease, polio, was a different part than the part of the virus that will kill cancer cells. And so he removed the part that's toxic for the body, replaced it by the cold virus, the rhinovirus, the common cold, and make the virus whole. And now we have this genetically modified poliovirus who will attach to all the cells in the spinal cord, won't do anything in the spinal cord, won't trigger polio, but when it attaches to the cancer cells, will infect the cancer cells, and most importantly, trigger an awakening of the immune system. So what happens is all of us every day, we all grow tumor cells. We all do. And our immune system are like watchdogs, and they clean up those cancer cells. And for whatever reason, when we have a tumor that grows, it's because the immune system is blind to the cancer. And so by waking up the immune system with the polio, what you do is you make the immune system aware that this should not be there. The tumor should not be there. And so that's what we're doing. Infect the tumor, make the immune system think that there is an infection around, and then the immune system comes in and cleans up the infection. The poliovirus, the modified poliovirus, is injected directly into the tumor. So that's a picture of the catheter where the tumor is being injected. And then what happens with the polio, and I don't know how well you can see, but really what happens with the modified poliovirus is that's the tumor we treated. And then you can imagine that what happens is you're creating an infection in the brain. So you all know that when you have an infection, so you have a splinter, and for whatever reason, your tweezer cannot get it out, okay? You can get it out. What will happen? It will get red, it will get inflamed around, it will get angry, painful. And so that's what happened. So we inject the patients with the poliovirus, and then after that, the tumor looks angry, gets bigger. So that's a patient with the hole from the first surgery, the nodule that came back about 9 months later, a year later. That's after 2 months after treating with the poliovirus. And then after 6 months, we can see it start shrinking and it resolves. And the immune system has killed the tumor, killed the roots of the tumor, because that's another thing we're all scared about is the anchors the tumor has around and the good tissue around. And the tumor shrink. And there, I'm not lying to you. This picture is absolutely real. In this patient, not only the tumor shrunk, but also the hole from the surgery that had been done 9 months prior suddenly contracted and disappeared. And really the only way I can explain that is as the immune system killed the roots, the brain around was able to say and move back into its place. And that's how the hole from the surgery retracted. Another patient here on the, sorry, I used a pointer. Sorry if I zapped you in the eyes. So, another patient, same thing, tumor that came back here when it gets inflamed with the poliovirus and then starts shrinking. And what we have 48 months later. You all know it. You're all scared of that. When the tumor comes back, often your doctors talks about months. And as you saw on the top of the slide, those two patients, we're talking about a lot of months. 49 and 48 months, survivors of brain glioblastoma, the scariest of all the brain cancer. The problem is, everybody unfortunately is not as the same, and everybody's immune system is different. And some of the patient, unfortunately, the immune system wakes up in a way that is just not adequate. And so that's our next work, is how do we make the immune system wake up in an effective way, kill the tumor in an effective way, but at the same time not break down the brain of the patient. And also, how do we truly prevent the glioblastoma to come back? And that's what our work is today, is really work on how do we modify. We have a group right now of about 20-25% of patients that are long-term survivor, but how do we make it for more people and help more patients and make it for everyone? The next step with the poliovirus will really be that. We're working on the next clinical trial to really help improving the virus, really help improving the immune system, and be able to treat not only glioblastoma, but a lot of other different brain tumors with the modified poliovirus. We are starting a trial probably very soon with the pediatric patient. And so there is a lot of very, very exciting things going on right now. And the poliovirus is one that you have seen, has been on the news a lot, but is not the only one. And we have different toxins, a lot of different people. The team in Seattle I know very well, and I haven't been able to say hi yet, and I just saw them. So, are also working tirelessly to find different therapies on how do we help our patient better than just the standard radiation and chemo, but how do we wake up our own defense mechanism against the tumor. Of course, this work takes a lot of people. Stephanie, you'll meet Stephanie now. Stephanie, of course, has been on the news a lot, but behind us, there is a lot of people that makes us look smart. And that's the team there. Just thanking you for allowing us to be here today, and thanking you for allowing us to help our patients and be there for them. Just a quick note, and just in finishing, and just to remind you that our goal is to be the same goal as with our patient that are HIV positive, is that our patient, all of our patients, someday will be able to be in remission. I'm not using the word cure because I have a big principle that we cannot cure, truly be normal. And I'm saying that, and I don't want you to get upset about what I'm saying right now. There is a difference to have when I mean that people are in remission and not completely cured. I'm saying it because I want also our patients and our caregiver to embrace the new brain and who we become, this badge of honor we get when we are a brain cancer survivor or a cancer survivor, that we're not completely cured and it's not completely behind us. It stays with us for the rest of our life despite the disease is inactive. So what we want for cancer, what we want for brain cancer, and with the help of hand brain cancer, help our patient have access so that everybody someday can just have this honor of saying, I'm in remission, I have this new brain that I love, I got used to it, I love working with it, sometimes even if it's a pain, and I'm proud of it, okay? Like patients with AIDS are living with their disease. Okay. Yes. We have a quick video to show you for some of you that might not have known. Just to give you a little introduction to this video, I was not aware of this. So we work a lot, as you know, with 60 Minutes. And it's not only because, the reason why do we work with 60 Minutes is really because of the education. I see it as an education tool, bringing awareness of it to everybody about brain cancer. And that's how I see it. The 60 Minutes team called me at 6 p.m. The news starts at 6:30 to warn me that there was something coming, but I was not in it. Just warn you, and Dr. D, you're not in it. So, but it's on the news. So here's the video of what happened. I don't know where the number 11 and 11 came, because it was much more than that. But I think that, again, this goal is really not just to say, yes, we're really proud, but I think that's also just a way of opening the door to innovative therapies, and that's what we want. And awareness of everybody and opening the doors for more research. So I would like to introduce to you the young lady who was really, really brave, who, when I told her, Stephanie, unfortunately the tumor is back, but I have this crazy new protocol that just started, what do you think about it? And she said, let's go for it. So Stephanie Lipscomb.
Sorry, you went too fast. Sorry.
I just want to take a short second to say thank y'all so much. I said yes, and I encourage everyone with clinical trials, research trials, to say yes, because if I wouldn't have said yes, I would have been like, ooh, polio, I know what that did, been very hesitant and not been the first. I wouldn't be the face of hope for brain cancer, and it's not something that I take for granted. I love being the face of hope, and I love inspiring hope and sparking those hope, not only in my patients, but other people that have brain cancer, whether it be glioblastoma or not, because brain cancer is devastating. Not only all cancer is devastating, but to have it in your brain is very hard to cure, is very hard to treat. And I just want to say thank y'all so much for supporting the Chris Elliott Fund, and now known as the End Brain Cancer Initiative. Because of y'all, everybody can have hope. So thank you.
If you didn't get a chance to raise your bid card, there are table captains at your table who, we forgot to cue you, I apologize, who have envelopes, giving envelopes. So feel free to ask around and grab one of those. They've got these big white envelopes that have giving envelopes in them. And it also has a little additional information also. So please feel free to ask at your table who your table captain is and grab one of those if you would still like to give. Okay, this is an exciting time. We actually have an amazing announcement to make. We have the inaugural Hope Award. It's a national Hope initiative that I was thinking about, and I wanted to create something on a national level. We give a local Hope Award every year, and we give a local Inspirational Award every year to either a patient, caregiver, or a practitioner or a doctor. But I wanted to spread more awareness. The month of May is National Brain Tumor Awareness Month. And so I started thinking about, well, how could we create more awareness on social media, frankly? And so I went to, truthfully, I went to Novacure and I said, would you sponsor this national award? And I, of course, had to lay out everything and all the expenses and what that would include. And after a while, I got it approved. My middle name is Persistence. Just saying. So we were able to create a national inaugural Hope Award. And we had so many people go online and submit these applications to us and photographs of their loved one, all brain tumor patients. And I can't tell you how touching it is to see that come into our offices every day and to hear the other side of the story. Why people were nominating these people for this award. Because normally we're talking to patients and their families every day about their brain tumor and how we can get them into some advanced treatment or a clinical trial, and talking and educating them about that. This was really an honor to read all of the stories that came in from all of these different people across the nation. And so it was really difficult, but to be honest, the National Inaugural Hope Award is somebody you've already met today, the person who is going to receive that award. And we are so proud to present that award to Stephanie. Stephanie, would you come on up? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you want to say anything at all? No? Okay. Okay. I mean, what better face to provide hope to brain tumor patients than Stephanie's story, truthfully. Stephanie, thank you so very, very much for stepping forward and helping others have hope just like you have. Thank you. So we also decided, well, I decided, I wanted to start a tradition, and I decided that I wanted to create something called the President's Award from the End Brain Cancer Initiative. And so we did. So we created that this year. And to be honest, there are many, many researchers, principal investigators, doctors, neurosurgeons, neuro-oncologists working in this field who we could give that award to, but you just heard from Dr. D earlier, and hands down, this award goes to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure. Good to see you.
Thank you. So it is a great pleasure of mine to introduce our Vice President, Riley Elliott, my daughter, to the podium right now. She has a few words she'd like to share. Thank you so much.
Picture of me.
Oh.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. My name is Riley Elliott, and I am the Vice President of the End Brain Cancer Initiative. And today, I am so proud to stand behind this organization my father, Chris Elliott, inspired. 14 years ago, he asked my mom to do something about this disease. And as you can imagine, that was a big job. But he knew if anyone could do it, it would be her. He wanted no other family to suffer from this disease and experience the struggle that our family did. My father was the type of person that believed that his lasting legacy would find something close to that cure, or at least move the needle towards something impactful. And today, I can honestly say my father would be so proud of the End Brain Cancer Initiative and the work we've done and the inspiring goals that we have to affect lasting change for brain cancer patients. The End Brain Cancer Initiative and its one-of-a-kind Direct Connect program has revolutionized the healthcare industry. Today, more brain cancer patients receive immediate access to new and advanced treatments. Today, more brain cancer patients are empowered to be proactive and practice personalized medicine. And today, more brain cancer patients receive some of the best opportunities and tools to connect to the best physicians all around the nation. I have watched hundreds of brain cancer patients and their families fight this disease behind the scenes. Each and every case is challenging. There's no way to go about it that's easy. But the good news is the End Brain Cancer Initiative, we won't settle. And we are here to lead positive change. In my life, my father and my mother have taught me this very lesson. And that's just one person can make a real difference in the world. And I thank them for teaching me this. Because every time I think something can't be done, I just think about what the End Brain Cancer Initiative has inspired. And today, we are showing innovation in the brain cancer community. This year, I have the honor of serving our foundation through brain cancer education, awareness, and research as my platform as Miss Downtown Seattle, USA. My plan is to broaden brain cancer outreach on a state level when I compete for Miss Washington in November. This passion of mine is so real because I believe more than ever that maybe, just maybe, we're on the closest track of seeing change, which means less families will have to experience what ours did. And for me, that's my number one goal. Your support today and in the future is revolutionizing the brain cancer industry for the better. And when brain cancer ends, everyone wins. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful Memorial Weekend.
Thank you, Riley. I'm very proud of you. Thank you. I want to say thank you again to all of you for being here. I also can't wait to be able to help you understand how we will be using your dollars that you raised today to connect more and more patients to innovative and bold treatments, such as what you've seen today. I want to thank again our National Hope Award sponsor, NovoCure. Thank you. Our keynote sponsor, Seattle Cancer Care Alliance Proton Therapy Center. Thank you very, very much. Event sponsors, Celldex and Genentech. Thank you. Our media sponsors, Bonneville Seattle Media Group. Thank you very, very much for helping us get the word out. Thank you. Our corporate table sponsors, JMS Construction, Megan L. Patton Fund. Thank you. Superior Steel. Thank you. The Preston Robert Tisch Brain Tumor Center, thank you. And Nativus, right here. Thank you. I actually want to take a moment. I had talked a little bit earlier about NovoCure having the very first device, medical device, approved by the FDA. So it's available to brain tumor patients. So what is so exciting, and I'm going to take this opportunity because it's about education and awareness, that many of you may or may not know, but there is another medical device right now in feasibility studies across the US, and it actually is called the Nativus Voyager system. And so there are trials for that particular device right here in Seattle. And I'll tell you what, Nativus is sitting right here. If any of you are interested in learning more about that particular trial, you can either see anybody at this table or you can get a hold of our organization and we will connect you to either the principal investigator or where those trials are being done across the US, including right here in Seattle. So what's exciting, and the reason I bring that up, is we heard about immunotherapy today. We heard about the re-engineered polio virus, right? So there's also devices, more devices coming on board to treat this disease. And I bring that up because to treat this disease, you need to hit it with every single thing that you have, and every single patient needs to have access to every single treatment. So thank you so much for helping us do that today with your support. We are coming to a conclusion of our luncheon today, but I want to do a plug for 2 events that are happening this summer. There is a walk. It's called the Head for the Cure walk. It'll be at Marymore. It is on July 10th. That walk raises money for research, and it raises money for research for the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, UW Group, etc. But the reason we are bringing that up to you as well is we want everybody to participate in that walk. It brings that research back to the UW and the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance. It actually also supports our work also. So we would like everyone to go online and sign up for that particular walk, and we look forward to it. We also have our 15th annual, believe it or not, Chris Elliott Fund Educational Golf Tournament happening on Monday, August 1 at the Plateau Club in Sammamish. We hope all of you that like to golf or get out there and just hit the hell out of the ball for a great cause to go online to endbraincancer.org and sign up. And I look forward to seeing all of you this summer at maybe one of those events. Thank you again for your support and for welcoming our efforts within this community. It is an honor to be in this community with all of you. Thank you. Yeah.